What's up, everyone? This is Xavier, your host, and welcome to the 210 Stockyard.
Hey, you can't park that animal over there. It's illegal.
And that's pretty much how the game went. Welcome back to another episode, guys. Again, I am Xavier, your host, and today I have with me a guest that you may recognize. Say what's up.
What's up, guys? It's me, Toby Soap.
So I got Toby, aka Cody, on the episode again. We went to the game, so you'll notice both of our voices sound a little different.
Yep, I screamed my lungs out, and I'm still recovering.
Yeah, I guess I sound a little bit better than you.
Yeah, well,
But I was screaming more than you had.
I don't know. I think we were screaming equally as loud, but it was so loud in there, you couldn't even tell.
Yeah, so this episode, I guess we're going to do something a little different. I'm not necessarily going to go over the whole game, like quarter by quarter, to break down points. Like, kind of just going to talk shit about Stallions.
My favorite kind of video.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, dude, after 9 weeks or 8 weeks of gameplay and them dominating the league and us hearing every week about, you know, how good they are compared to all the other teams, I think we've earned the right to brag.
Yeah, we're the only team that's beat them so far.
Yeah.
You know, and to be a great team, you have to beat a great team, and we did.
I agree. And so I actually have some video aside from the game. I've got some footage here of pretty much a quick summary of how the game went. So let's go ahead and take a look at that.
Pinches bajos parece Donna, Texas. Hey, muévete, güey, tu head, bro. That pool's going blood in, blood out. Give me some chonchon. No sé si es caca o soquete, güey. Muévete, güey, quítate.
And that's pretty much how the game went.
One of my favorites.
The Brahmas just kind of landed the knockout punch against the Stallions. And, in fact, that morning, I set the tone by posting this Breakfast Club meme. Pretty much got it right.
If you mess with the bull, you get the horns. And they messed with the bull, and they got the horns.
Yeah, they sure did.
You can take that in a couple of different metaphors, too, because, a very loud sound comes from a horn, like a battle horn, and that place was rocking. Like, to just go ahead and get it out of the way, my opinion on attendance is already a known, but dude, I don't care what attendance said. It sounded like there was 30,000 people in there. It was loud, and it was awesome.
It definitely, echoed in there. I know that the official numbers were just shy of 12,000, but I do believe they only count tickets sold.
Yeah.
Not any free or promo tickets. So if there was a buy one, get one, the free tickets aren't counted. So there may have been, because it definitely sounded like there was more than 12,000 in there.
Yeah, and it looked like it, too. It looked like one of the more full games we've been to.
Yeah, let's see if I can get some crowd noise here.
Loud here inside the Alamo Dome. Adrian Martinez with the screen to Amari Rogers, the Clemson Tiger. And Bryce Thompson is there.
Crowd noise was definitely a factor. And towards the end of the game, I do recall Adrian Martinez actually telling the coach, like, we can't hear, it's too loud in here.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing, because when you're at the game, you don't hear these things for the most part. You're just watching the game, you hear all the noise of the crowd. But then when we get home, we're watching highlights and different stuff like that, and being able to hear the clip of him saying, like, coach, I can't hear because the crowd's too loud.
Yep.
It just made me feel so much better about how the energy was and how we were that game, because we wanted to beat the Stallions so bad. I mean...
Yeah, and throughout the broadcast, too, when I went back and rewatched it, there are multiple times where the commentators themselves are like, the energy in here is great, or it's so loud in here, like, this place is rocking, all those types of comments. So good job, San Antonio, for bringing the noise and bringing that ruckus.
Yep. So even for the people that don't think that it was a good attendance, I mean, we make it sound like a good attendance, and to me, that's what matters. That's what's more memorable. When you can hear it, clear as day in some of the parts of the broadcast and the highlights, it's so awesome.
And and that reminds me, kudos to the PA announcer. Apparently, it was a fill-in. I think you messaged the guy, right? You commented?
I had made a post on one of the Facebook things, and he had commented on it because I had posted, I think, a video of the crowd being really loud, and he had commented saying that that was his first Brahma game that he was filling in for a guy. I guess he was sick.
Yeah, the guy that normally does the PA or the MC for the games. Yeah, well, the fill-in, whatever his name was, I'll try to add it in the video. I'm glad you filled in, and no offense to the previous guy, but I kind of hope you stay the PA guy, because the energy you brought was awesome.
Yeah, it was very a different experience, because like before, they would just say get loud and stuff like that. But before this game, there was actually somebody from the Brahmas organization that was like, hey, right after, what was it, every
on first down,
first down, we're gonna do we're gonna scream horns, and we want the crowd to scream forward back. And the first time they did it, when they said horns, and then we all screamed forward. When we stopped, you could hear the echo hitting back at you. And I just looked around. It was like, holy cow. Like, that was really sweet.
Yeah, dude. I think that just, like, it sent chills. I got goosebumps. I'm really curious if any of the players happen to watch this and hear this, I want to know what their reaction was. Like, how did you feel with the crowd being that rowdy and then hearing that for the first time?
Yeah.
12,000 people screaming forward.
It was pretty cool. I mean, I hope we get to do a lot more than just the horns forward.
Oh, for sure.
I just think that was a really good start and show of example of what our crowd can do, and the things I think we should be doing.
And leave it to us to finally do that.
I know, the last home game.
The last home game of the season.
I know, that's the only bummer about it. It was really cool, but it was literally the last home game. If we would have started that week 1, then, oh my gosh, we could have had that place rocking against, even more than it was.
It was awesome. All right, but I guess let's give some stats out for this game. So, offensively, the Brahmas actually outrushed the Stallions, who, going into this game, were the number one, and still are, the number one rushing team in the league. San Antonio outrushed the Stallions. We had 2 rushing touchdowns to their 0. We outrushed the Stallions 127 yards to 78. Passing-wise, it was almost the same, almost identical stat-wise. The Brahmas had a total of 202 yards in the air, and the Stallions had 200, so just 2 yards less.
So, still, man, we were better.
Yeah, the big difference, though, was in that passer completion percentage. The Brahmas completed 71% of their passes, while Birmingham only completed 56%.
Hell yeah.
Both teams had 1 passing touchdown. Yeah. And as far as red zone stats go, the Brahmas did better in the red zone as well. We were 3 for 4, so 75%. Birmingham only got down to the red zone twice and only converted once. So, yeah, it was 50%, but again, it was only one time.
Yeah,
so,
we kept him out of the red zone pretty nice.
Crazy stat, too, they didn't score in the first quarter, and I don't think that's ever happened in Birmingham. Now, the Brahmas, though, going into Week 9, had outscored their opponents in the first quarter 35-0 in the past 6 games.
So speaking of random stats, I'm going to bring this up because I just saw it this morning. I thought it was kind of crazy. And so it might not be the best stat, but it's a crazy one that I saw this morning from someone that I think was trying to gloat with it, which I guess, good for them if they want to. But it was saying that the Birmingham Stallions hadn't scored less than 10 points or single-digit points since like 1984. I guess it's maybe like their first season or something like that. And so it's like, yeah, it's been a long time since you've scored that, but then it's like, then that gives us every more reason to be proud and to be loud about our victory.
Oh yeah.
Because another thing also was I heard that some people were complaining, it's like, well, we're not going to be playing all of our starters, we're resting people. And then literally before the game, there's audio of the coach saying that we didn't rest anybody, that we're coming out here to win the game.
Yeah.
So it's like, who should I believe? The coach of the team? Or somebody?
Yeah, no, a casual fan. No, Skip Holtz, the head coach, literally said they're not resting anyone. So, yeah, there goes that argument. And by the way, after the loss, the fucking excuse train just took off, in a hurry for Stallions fans. Like, there was so much whining and crying, and I guess, damn, they hadn't lost in, 2 years, 15-game win streak, yada, yada, 2-time champs, whatever, fine. But
yeah, congratulations to them.
The amount of whining and crying is actually what made me want to do this video this style. Just because, all right, so for example, let's get into it, folks. Stallions fans, y'all are probably going to be mad at this, but I took a screenshot of a comment that I saw on one of the pages that I follow. So here at the bottom, we have Ricky Joe Johnson. Dude, tell me you're from Alabama without telling me you're from Alabama. Ricky Joe John. All right, so Ricky Joe says, interesting that the team named after one of the league's owners gets some of the best players. Well, Ricky Joe and fans, if you guys don't recall, there was dispersal drafts that happened when the merger happened. Each league had their own league dispersal draft and then a super dispersal draft. So these best players that we have could have been and should have been selected by any other team.
Yeah.
Like, for example, here's a graphic of the teams that were, I guess, dissolved.
Okay.
And how many of their players were selected during those drafts. You can see that the Orlando Guardians, one of the worst teams in the XFL, only had 3 of their players taken in the drafts. And that was our quarterback, Quentin Dormady, who we got in the second draft. Nobody picked him in the first draft. Okay?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then we also got Cody Latimer, the XFL's best tight end. But we got him in the second round. So everyone else passed up on him in the first round.
Yep.
And then the third player to get selected was wide receiver Jordan Thomas, who the Stallions have.
Yep.
So, and again, they got him in the super dispersal. So I don't want to hear shit about us having the best players. We have, I think, the best coaches that can identify and develop talent.
Yep.
Which is why we were so deep. I mean, like, okay, John Lovett, our number 1 running back, going into the season was our number 2 back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he was part of the team until I think like week 4.
Yeah, because McFarland, who was is our original RB1, got injured, and I think he's only played 6 games total.
I believe so.
Because he's been, in and out due to injury. I do know that we have Morgan Ellison, who was the Seattle Sea Dragons' number 1 running back last year, but he's our number 3 or number 4 in the depth chart.
They haven't really utilized him at all.
Yeah,
in comparison.
So that complaint that we, somehow are cheating because we have the best players, like, no, dude. We went through the same draft and free agency process as every other team did.
Yeah, anybody could have gotten any one of our players.
And in fact, the guy, I can't remember his name. I'll show it at the end of the video, but we had a guy make a sack on Adrian Martinez in the game. And I didn't know this, but the announcers called it that he started off training camp with the Stallions. They cut him, and we picked him up.
And then he gets a sack.
So is that cheating? I mean, that you guys had him and released him, and then we get him?
And we utilized his talent better.
Yeah, we coached him up and developed better. Like, come on, dude, get out there. Again, that's just one of my favorite excuses that popped out, that we had, some type of bias or nepotism that we get the best players. No, I'm sorry. Fuck out of here with that.
Exactly.
Next up, here's Ron Marsloff. I don't know if that's a real name or not, but he's screaming at it. And again, tell me you're from Bama without telling me you're from Bama. I actually had to read this twice, so yeah, I'm going to read it the way I originally, saw it. C championship foe Birmingham 2, San Antonio Nada 0.
I couldn't comprehend that the first time. I had to blink a couple times and clear my head of any kind of negative thoughts and then reread that to understand exactly what it meant.
So he meant to write championships. He just put a space. So he's supposed to be saying...
He was saying it so hard that he slammed the space.
Yeah, I imagine this guy slamming keys.
Oh, he was so angry.
But he said, okay, so it's supposed to be championships for Birmingham 2, San Antonio 0.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can claim that, but my rebuttal to that is, who did you beat? You beat other USFL teams. You didn't play a single XFL team to get those championships.
Yeah.
And, and part of the reason why I was never really a fan of the USFL was their whole hub model that they did.
Yeah.
Everybody played and practiced in Birmingham. So you had like the Houston Gamblers, the New Orleans Breakers, who never played a game in Houston or New Orleans.
Yeah.
Like, who's going to go to those games?
Nobody.
Yeah, so of course the only team that had fan support was the local team, Birmingham.
Makes sense.
And so to me, that is a little rigged. And in my eyes, I saw Birmingham as the team to kind of cheat with the bias and get the better choice players for their team, which is why I think they were so dominant in the USFL. Now, fast forward to the UFL, and they're not having such an easy time. They barely beat the Battlehawks by 4, and I know I've gotten slack for this, but I think they kind of cheated to do it. It was a dirty play going after A.J. McCarron's ankles, and that kind of took him out of the game.
For a couple games.
Yeah, because he's still out. There's even a play here against the Brahmas where one of their players punches...
Yeah, full fist underneath the mask in the guy's face.
Landon Akers. Yeah. He punched Landon Akers and didn't get kicked out.
Nope.
And then you've got, let me see if I can find it. There's a play in week 2 where one of the Brahmas defenders, Devontae Beckett, gets thrown out of the game for throwing a punch. And here you can see he's being held onto by a guy much bigger than him. and he won't let go. So he's trying to just get the guy to, like, get off me. He kind of throws a half punch, but gets kicked out of the game for that.
Yeah, and that guy's also 4 feet taller than him, too. It's one of those things like
triple his weight.
It probably felt like a nudge to him, not even a punch. It was more of just like, a little brother being like, get off of me, like, stop this,
Yeah, but our guy gets kicked out for that. And then you've got this Stallions player that remains in the game after a deliberate try to sneak in, that. Yeah, it's just an underhanded, it's a dirty play.
It was, because it was like they were jawing back and forth. They probably both had words. I don't know the whole story, but then clearly from the angle of the camera, you can see the shot is even in slow-mo on a replay that he just uppercuts him, and then as it's coming back, you can see his fist being removed from underneath his mask, and the player's just like, what just happened?
Yeah,
like, why did he just do that? What, are you not going to call this, ref? That's why it's like it was a very late flag. For anybody that was like, oh, it was a late flag for no reason. No, it was a reason because the ref saw the late, blatant punch in the face.
And, talking about dirty plays, Cody Latimer, he went out, I want to say it was in the first quarter. So that play right there, you see him shake his head, he's a little dizzy. That took him out.
Yep, on a cart and everything.
And now, the angle that we got, even on the replay, I can't really tell if it was targeting or intentional. I can honestly chalk that up to football. But with Birmingham's, to me, their past of, questionable plays, especially on the defense, I can't say that wasn't, intentional.
Yeah. I mean, and the guy, looking at the replay, it didn't look like he was looking where he was going. He just lowered his helmet and lunged towards him.
Yeah, because Latimer was already, I guess, going down. I mean, it is, I guess, bang, bang. And
it's like in those kind of plays, too, you see that he's not going to land on his feet. So you just let him fall, and then you just got to touch him.
Yeah.
You don't have to slam into him. And especially he, lowered his head and just went straight in at him.
Yeah, because you're kind of going at his neck there. And by the way, Latimer is out for the season. He posted on his Instagram. Mm-hmm. Here's the post. And he's basically in the post says that, he's going to have surgery. He doesn't say on what, but that he's going to focus on that and then recovery.
Yeah, and he said at the beginning of this year, too, that this is possibly his last season playing football. And I say possibly because I believe there's some question there that he may come back, so I don't want to say it's definite. But, but if it is his last season, then that was the last.
Yeah, you don't want to go out like that, dude.
Nah, going out on injury is never good.
And again, that's just dirty. I mean, they know he's one of our top players, and I just hate to see that he got taken out. So, again, for anyone trying to say that this was unfair or that the Brahmas, have better players, whatever excuse you guys want to make, and you can keep touting that, the Stallions had 15 games and won 2 championships. Again, you played against who?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't think the USFL was superior, play-wise or talent-wise to the XFL teams. So it's easy to have back-to-back championships when you're obviously the dominant team for that league and you're the only team playing in front of fans.
Yeah, home fans. Look
what happens once you join the UFL.
Yeah, and you have to go to places like San Antonio and hear our loud asses.
Yeah, so you guys can keep that, 2-time champ stat. The stat that I'm going to stick with until you guys change it is the fact that every time the Brahmas have played the Stallions, the Brahmas win.
Yep.
100% of the time.
100%.
So until that changes, you guys can keep, jaw-jacking about your 2 championship wins. That's fine. Congrats.
You've never played the Brahmas before. And then when you did, you lost.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if you want to show the clip, my favorite clip so far of everything is at the beginning of the game when the coach says that they're just lucky.
Oh,
Your own coach says you're lucky, okay?
Skip Holtz,
deal with that.
Here's a clip.
Yeah. What an honor it is for me to have the opportunity to do this.
Oh, thank you.
Just to stand across the sideline from you, I've been such a huge fan of yours and admirer of yours. And congratulations on the great job you've done with your team.
Well, what about you, man?
Yeah, we're a lot.
Thanks.
Have you enjoyed?
So there you can see Skip Holtz, Wade was like, oh, how about you guys? He's like, oh, we're just lucky.
We're just lucky. That's all you guys are. It's just lucky. You haven't ever played the XFL before, and you've been struggling, but you've been squeaking out wins.
Dude,
just
even
barely.
the DC game, they beat DC by a walk-off field goal.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
Which, congratulations.
Yeah, and congrats.
But barely.
But barely, yeah.
Barely.
Just
And then when you played a team like us, there was no barely in the entire game.
Mm-mm. No, we were ready.
We were there the whole time, ahead the whole time. It was us the whole time. The crowd the whole time.
Yeah, they weren't ready for the crowd. Again,
you got the horns, baby.
Yeah, you messed with the bull, you got the horns. So all that just to say, Birmingham is now 8-1, and I am so happy that we are the one. We're Neo, bro.
Yep, we are the one. We are that one on your record. I mean, I hope that they win their next 2 games and we see them in the championship.
I kind of don't. And not that I don't want to see them. I kind of hope that they lose in the first round and
get humbled.
Yeah, just get so humbled. I mean, of course, I would love to beat them again in the championship, but I want to see them honestly lose to Michigan, and just see what other excuses now the fans are going to make.
Yeah.
But if they make it past Michigan, because I'm pretty confident we're going to beat St. Louis.
I'm confident, but I like watching St. Louis. I like St. Louis as a team.
I do too.
I think it's going to be a fun game. 2 in a row.
For any reason, and I'm not even going to say that. I'm just confident we're going to make it. But
yeah, no, me too. Me too. They're going to be fun games. Whether we win the next one, I'm not sure. But I think whether we win the next one, the playoff game is going to be just different.
Yeah, so the next game, honestly, I don't care. I don't care if we win or lose the next game, even if it means we play them in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'm saying I'm positive we're going to beat them when it counts.
And I think our players can handle that crowd.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't be surprised if we rest players. I mean, of course, home field will be great, but I would rather be healthy and play them 100% when it matters.
So wouldn't it be crazy if in the next game we just rested all of our starters, just came out second string, and even gave them a game?
I wouldn't be upset though if we did, and then it'd be crazy if we did and still gave them a game, because we do have a deep bench.
Yeah, I mean we've been through 3 quarterbacks, 4 running backs, 2 centers, 3 kickers.
And speaking of which, with Cody Latimer being out now, we're only keeping 1 tight end. That's Alize Mack, so he's our tight end. So knock on wood that nothing happens to him for the remainder of the season, because we're only running 100%. On 1 tight end now. But to replace that wide receiver or receiver slot, the Brahmas are bringing back Cade Warner.
I saw that.
Yeah. So Cade Warner, the guy I was curious about at the beginning of the season, will hopefully get a shot here towards the end of the season.
Watch him have a game.
Oh, dude, if Cade Warner comes in,
it's just 100 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, that'd be so epic.
I'm going to call it. One of these games, one of the next 2 games, Cade Warner is going to go off. Maybe not those exact stats, but he's going to have a game.
Yeah,
they'll talk about him.
He's definitely got, his dad's grit. He's got a lot of fight in him, so I'm glad to see that he'll be there. And
he's getting a second opportunity.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I think he would put all into it, I'm hoping.
So I do have actual, footage of fans, by the way, reacting.
Oh, the reaction videos are the best.
So this is legit reaction video. I posted it as shorts earlier in the week, but let's go ahead and take a look at some of the actual fan reaction videos like this one.
Come on, Artex. What's the matter? It's too difficult for you.
Artex, you're sinking! Come on! Artex! Fight against the sadness, Artex!
You have to try. You have to care. For me. You're my friend. I love you.
Artex! Stupid horse!
So yeah, some pretty good fan reaction there. That pretty much
Stupid horse.
Stupid horse. That pretty much sums up, the fans reacting. Okay, and then last one, guys. I actually got a fan to send in some of their, footage of them fans waking up and hearing the news that the Stallions, perfect season, is done. So here's fans reacting to hearing that news in the Monday morning. All right, but that's this week's or the Week 9 recap. So I mean, what do you guys think? Are we a little too harsh in our criticism of fans jumping on that, whiny bus or the complain train?
Hey, like I said to another fan earlier, and I mean, it's still, I feel 100% about it. To be a great team, you have to beat great teams. Mm-hmm. And so far, the Stallions have been a great team. They may have won barely by certain games and stuff, but you can't deny that they were 8-0. They're a good team, and then we beat y'all. So congratulations to y'all on your season so far, but it ain't over.
Nope.
Now you know what the Brahmas are in for, and I don't know if y'all are going to get knocked off the horse and get back up stronger like some of y'all think. Just know that the Brahmas are just sitting there waiting for you.
Yeah, and dude, I made this meme because I love that we're the big bad. We're the scary monster hiding under your bed. We give you the nightmare, so we're coming for that.
Yeah.
That perfect season, and we got it, and now we're coming for them in the championship.
Yep,
so.
You're back-to-back champs. Well, no three-peat.
Yep.
Not if we're there.
Not if we're there. So again, what are your thoughts? What do you think about how the game went? Do you think the Brahmas somehow have an unfair advantage over the Stallions? Who do you think's going to win in each round of the playoffs? Do you think they were dirty hits in the game? Like, what are your thoughts on that punch that Landon Akers received? Definitely want to know if you guys think the Cody Latimer hit was intentional.
Oh, and last thing, I don't know if you want to just throw this in at the end or somewhere in the middle. I don't care. But I just got to give a shout-out to Brad Wing for that incredible freaking punt.
Man.
Like, from the 5-yard line, and he kicked it
we were
80
in the end zone.
Yards. Yeah, he kicked it from the end zone, but
to
we hiked
20.
it to their 20. He kicked it. It was it was the unofficial play of the game. Like the interception to seal it, maybe the touchdowns and stuff, other plays of the game. But that punt was crucial.
Yeah.
And it turned that crowd inside out when it happened.
Dude, I think the crowd was more rowdy than when the double play for the touchdown, or the double pass for the touchdown happened.
I think so too, because it felt like they had just stopped us, we weren't going anywhere, but then he punted the living. Like, watching that guy go to receive it running backwards was like just the most satisfying feeling.
Because he lost it, right? I don't think he knew where it was going.
No,
he's like, oh shit,
he
it's
didn't
still
catch
going.
it or anything. If I recall, he just ran back to try to get it. Oh, just beautiful.
So good job. Clap to Brad Wing. So good job on
Shout
that.
outs, Brad Wing.
But thanks again for listening and watching and hearing me rant and kind of rag on Stallions fans. I'm sorry, I know not all Stallions fans are represented by the guys that we pointed out.
100%.
I had to just point out the ones that are making excuses, because I hate seeing that. Just take the L.
It's all fun.
Yeah, it's all fun in games.
Spring football, baby.
It is.
We all love it. We're all here to watch the same thing.
That being said, too, I love spring football.
Same.
I love the UFL, and even though I obviously like the XFL more than the USFL, that's healthy rivalry.
Yeah, competition. We started watching XFL. Other people were watching the UFL. We have good competition, good rivalries. And, this is the first season of hopefully many, many more to come.
Definitely many more to come.
So I can't wait to see what comes in the future. I'm not going to be thinking about the past like some teams I know.
No, yeah. Super excited for everything to come. Super excited for the playoffs, right around the corner. Once again, I'm Xavier.
I'm Cody.
Appreciate you guys watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification tab as well. It definitely helps the channel out. But again, thanks for hanging out with us, and stay tuned for more episodes of the 210 Stockyard.
We're not huddling. You go to the field. Okay, well then don't huddle. You know what I mean? It's too loud for everyone to hear. But what we got to do, just be a little bit of a tight alignment, but don't huddle. Pressure. Martinez, how did he do it again? Throwing middle of the field. Picked off. Tease Tabor could have just put an end to the 15-game winning streak. Pandemonium here inside the